Yo, what is up, my dudes? Change of plans. I'm gonna be doing something different today. I'm gonna be talking about false awakenings, as I've never really talked on the topic before, so I'm like, well, I've had some pretty messed up false awakening dreams, in my life, and only one of them was really scary, in my opinion. I've had multiple ones. I've had some where I had gone downstairs and thought that my best friend and his sister were asleep on my couch, which of course they're some of my best friends. So I mean, it's not really freaky. But onto the main story. This one was like any other false awakening dream. I don't even really remember falling asleep. I just knew, I thought I had awoken up in my brother's bedroom where I was asleep, basically. I'd woken up in his room. Doesn't really seem too scary, but it will be really soon. So I go into the hallway, and I notice that someone that I know is on, since we have like 7 stairs and then we have a landing and then we have 7 more stairs to get upstairs, and the first room is my brother's bedroom. I had just had to open the door, and I went a few down the stairs, and this is where I noticed someone, a friend of mine. And this wasn't really creepy to me during this actual dream. During the time, it was just more regular of us just talking. But this is the thing: there were no lights on in the hallway, so I mean, it wasn't really pitch black when we were talking. But at this point, I'm thinking, dude, this friend Rachel had gotten into our house. I don't even know how the frick how, and she was on the landing of the stairs in the near pitch black darkness of our house, mind you. And I'm thinking that this is real. I'm thinking that she actually got into our house, and that I'm actually talking to this chick at this point. And mind you, we're just having a regular ass conversation. But I mean, this might not really seem too creepy to some people. And at the time, it wasn't really creepy. But eventually, I had actually woken up for real. But at that point, I thought but before that, I thought that this was actually real. I thought that she had literally gotten into our house, probably broken in or something, because she doesn't have a key to my knowledge, and she was just standing on the landing in the pitch black darkness of our house, mind you, and we're just talking like it's a normal thing. But eventually I actually woken up for real and actually remembered the actual dream. And even at the time, I didn't really think that it was really that creepy. I just thought, okay, well, I didn't really know what false awakenings were. At that point in my life. I eventually found out what they were and made the connection that must have been one of the false awakening dreams, because that was one of them that I had actually thought that I was actually awake. I'd woken up in my brother's room to have the conversation with her, and thinking that this was actually real. And then I'd actually woken up. But And I mean, this might not really seem that scary to some people, and at the time, it wasn't really scary to me, but way later in life, I went back on that false awakening, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, the fact that I thought that she had gotten into our house in the middle of the night and was just standing on the landing of our staircase in the near pitch black darkness of the freaking house, and we're just having a regular freaking conversation. I'm thinking, holy shit, that's actually really fucking creepy. And personally, for me at the time, it wasn't really that creepy, but now I am personally, honestly, for you guys, I think that was probably one of the creepiest false awakening dreams that I've probably ever had at that point. And some people might not think that that was creepy, but given all those circumstances, that it just sounds so out of place, and the fact that Rachel had seemingly broken into our house in that false awakening dream and was just standing in the pitch black, almost pitch black darkness, is just, it's creepy. It's honestly really effing creepy in my opinion, and the fact that I wasn't even scared creeps me out even more, personally. But that actually ends the actual false awakening dream. I didn't really have another one in succession with that, as I know multiple friends of mine have had multiple false awakening dreams. I'd actually, one was like from like Reddit, and then I had heard some from Mr. Nightmare, a friend of mine, a horror YouTuber, which I was watching right before I even decided to make this video. And coincidentally, I was watching one that was also a false awakening dream. That one's really creepy as well. I won't go into it because it's not my story, and it's not really the topic of the video. But for me personally, the creepiest one that I ever had was that one, personally. The one that I had went into, that I just told you guys, because wow, that is just, and you might be like, well, if it was so dark, how were you able to even recognize her? Well, A, it was her actual voice, and B, I don't really know what was illuminating the staircase, but there was this, like, dim light that was light enough to where I could actually see her, and everything, and that's how I actually recognized that it was her. Basically, those two factors I knew were that, were how that I had actually recognized that it was one of my, friends. But I don't know, man, given the circumstances, and that she didn't have a freaking key or anything, and and she seemingly just broke into our freaking house in that false awakening, to where I'm just standing there talking to her in the near pitch black darkness. It really freaking creeps me out for that false awakening dream. But that was personally one of the most scariest ones that I've ever had, personally, for me. I know some friends have had way worse ones. I won't go into detail with those because they're not really mine, or they're not really relevant to the story. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yes, I will be getting back to my Super Mario Galaxy 2 Boss Rush next time, guys. So I just thought that I would take a break from that and actually tell you guys a really effing creepy false awakening dream that I actually had. And I hope that you enjoyed. But until next time, peace out, guys.